Hi and welcome to Brussels-Midi. Today we're heading to Paris, but not on a flashy high-speed train. No, this is something different. This bright pink OUIGO may look modern, but it's actually a blast from the past. For the first time in over 30 years, a conventional train is back on the Brussels-Paris route, running at a maximum of 160 km per hour on the conventional line. We're following in the tracks of legends like the Étoile du Nord and the Oiseau Bleu, though this version comes with more budget seats. So what's it like? Is it worth it? And why did it take 3 decades to come back? Let's find out! Come along! Brussels-Midi may not be the prettiest station in Europe, but definitely one of the busiest. Trains going everywhere, both in Belgium and abroad, to several cities in Europe, including, of course, Paris. There are a few decent eateries, shops, a supermarket, and enough chocolate and waffles to fuel a high-speed train all the way to the moon and back. The departure board already shows my train, a OUIGO to Paris Gare du Nord, track 6. Let's go! Up on the platform, my train isn't already here, but the TGV Inoui is just pulling out. Not for me today though, I'm going budget. Pink budget. And right on cue, here comes my ride. Slower, simpler, but at the same time, it feels like the return of a forgotten tradition. This isn't a high-speed train, it's a classic setup. An SNCB Class 18, a tri-tension Siemens Euro Sprinter, hauling relatively modern cars. The same you might see on Belgian intercity trains, but here they have this pink livery and travel internationally to France. This isn't a train operated solely by SNCB, but instead a partnership between SNCB and SNCF. The service only started in December 2024, marking the return of conventional trains on the Brussels-Paris route after a 30-year absence. Back in the day, this same route was served by legendary names like the Étoile du Nord, the Oiseau Bleu, the Île-de-France, and many other elegant express trains linking both capitals long before high speed was even a thing. Today's version, not as luxurious, not even as fast, but still meaningful and much more affordable. Let's step aboard. Technically the seats are reserved, but in practice, nobody seems to care all that much. People just hop on, find a free spot and that's that. I safely drop my bag at the luggage rack, find my window seat, which isn't bad for a budget ride, and the train departs Brussels-Midi at 1:38 p.m. on time. And as usual upon departure, today's trip map. Let me offer you now today's very quick seat tour. Seats are simple but reasonably comfortable. There's decent leg room, a tray table, footrest, a bin and a power outlet. Nothing fancy, just the basics. There's no cafeteria, no mood lighting, no first class, but also no hidden fees. What you book is what you get, and honestly, for a 3-hour cross-border trip, that's perfectly fine. About 40 minutes into the trip, we reach Mons and its brand new station. It finally opened to passengers in December 2024 after years of delays, a sky-high budget and more than a few political headaches. It was designed by Santiago Calatrava, the same architect behind Liège-Guillemont, and just like there, you definitely get that signature sweeping curve vibe. Mons itself is a small but proud city in Wallonia, home to around 100,000 inhabitants, full of history and quirky charm. It was the European Capital of Culture back in 2015, and its Grand Place is one of Belgium's best-kept secrets. But no time to explore today. After a quick stop, we're back on the move toward the French border. As we leave Mons behind, we're not just heading to Paris, we're following in the footsteps of history. For most of the 20th century, this route was served by some of Europe's most elegant international trains. Names like the Étoile du Nord, the Oiseau Bleu, the Île-de-France and others weren't just trains. They were moving salons, symbols of prestige travel. They linked Brussels and Paris with style, comfort and silver service dining, long before anyone said the words high-speed, OUIGO or low-cost. But the last conventional trains on this route disappeared in 1995, replaced by high-speed services that prioritized the speed demanded by most passengers. And for over 3 decades, not a single conventional train made this trip. Until now. It may not be luxury anymore, but there's something special about retracing these tracks, even if in low-cost pink. The Grand Express trains may be gone, but the line is still here, quietly threading towns and borders, just like it always did since 1859. We're now arriving in Aulnoye-Aymeries, a mouthful of a name, and a crossroads in northern France. It's a quick stop, and soon we are on our way again, perfectly on time. Our final stop in today's trip is Gare, a suburb town 50 kilometers from Paris and the busy junction in the Paris commuter belt, served by the RORD and Francilians Line H. There's only around 30 minutes to go before the end of our journey. From here, it's mostly suburban territory all the way into Gare du Nord. The countryside gives way to factories, warehouses and the edges of Île-de-France, the French region where Paris is located. The scenery shifts. Open plains turn into rooftops, farms give way to office buildings, and the closer we get, the more Paris begins to appear. Not all at once, but in fragments. This isn't the Eiffel Tower Paris or Café and Cobblestone Paris. It's the Paris of daily life with commuter trains, construction, concrete, and trains coming and going. The rails get busier, with this one being one of the densest railway approaches in all of Europe, and Gare du Nord is its beating heart. It's the busiest station in Europe with over 200 million passengers every year. We're arriving at this storied place 2 minutes ahead of schedule. While disembarking, let me welcome you to Paris Gare du Nord. Not exactly glamorous, as in the days of the Grand Express trains, but it gets the job done. just like the train that brought us here. This isn't first class on Eurostar. There's no lounge access, no Wi-Fi and no cafeteria, but it's fast enough, comfortable enough, and incredibly cheap. Tickets start at just 10 euros. That's so low, you could almost ride down just for lunch or a quick shopping and still be home in Brussels for dinner. It may not have the bells and whistles, but it's accessible. It makes Paris feel closer, and in a time when train travel isn't always affordable, that matters. I hope this service sticks around, I really do, because not every journey needs to be high speed. Sometimes it just needs to be possible. Thanks for riding with me on today's journey all the way to the end. If you enjoyed the trip, don't forget to like, subscribe, share and drop a comment below. It really helps the channel grow and keeps these rail adventures rolling, always with a bit of history and technology. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you next week.